If hating your body into health actually worked, you'd probably be 20 pounds lighter, but it actually doesn't work. Shame doesn't make you lose a single pound. I had a client who was on a weight loss journey for over 10 years. She would weigh herself every single day. And it was really that setting up of her day of, am I doing good or am I doing bad? And the scale would determine her mood. It would determine whether she was happy with herself or mad with herself. And weight really determined her worth in her eyes. And when we were able to stop the shame spiral and making weight and weighing herself about her mood for the day, she lost 30 pounds and kept it off. So I want to share with you how I helped her do that through really understanding the concept that we can't hate our body into health. We can't shame our body into health because it doesn't work. If it worked, we'd all be super healthy because being mad at ourselves and talking down to ourselves, we've got that in spades. Okay. So let's think about it for a second. If you every morning are getting up, you're looking in the mirror, you're getting dressed, and you don't like what you see, I'm not saying that you immediately look in the mirror and you go, oh, I'm exactly where I want to be. I'm amazing. I love myself. It's beautiful. I love it. When in reality, you don't, because your brain's going to know that you're lying to yourself and it's not actually going to work. But let's just stop for a second and think. If you loved the body that you were in, you loved your weight, you were super happy with it, you loved how much energy you had, you loved what you saw when you looked in the mirror, how would you show up every day? I'm going to wait. Okay, so you would probably choose meals that sustained and nourished and rewarded yourself. You would probably look in the mirror and be like, love ya. You would probably get out and move because it made you feel good. You would spend time with people. You would have joy. You would have community. All these things that we're putting on the back burner because we're going to wait until we feel great or we wait until we feel worthy. But truly, those are the things that we're putting on the back burner. Those are the things that are going to actually help get you there, because having joy, having community, having movement, having fresh air, so good for our mental health and also so good for our oxytocin, which is going to be just great for overall hormone imbalance. Honestly, we really underestimate oxytocin. And how do we get it? Giving somebody a hug, community, finding joy. Okay. I think oxytocin is underrated when it comes to our overall health. Okay. So, for example, this client that weighed herself every day, I actually have a lot of clients that do this. And the idea of throwing away the scale it hurts, like literally a deep settling hurt, because it's how they measure their worth every day. And it sets up your mood. It's like, oh, the scale is down. Great. I'm doing awesome. I'm awesome. The scale is up. I suck. I'm not doing great. I hate how this looks. We constantly are belittling ourselves. Okay. So I'm not saying that you can't want to change your body at all. I think that we can want to improve upon our body simply because we do actually love it, because health is truly such a gift that we can give ourselves. And because we truly love ourselves, that is why we are stepping into this. Because truly loving ourselves means giving ourselves energy, giving ourselves sleep, nourishing our bodies. It's not because we hate ourselves. It's because we truly love ourselves that we're going to do that. So it's all smoke and mirrors. Let's go through some actionable steps of what you could do. The first step is literally just going to become aware of every single time you say something nasty to yourself or think something nasty to yourself. And sometimes this is so fast. We don't even realize that there's a thought that we're thinking before there is an action. Okay. So if every time you eat something yummy like chocolate or Swedish candy or anything and immediately go, oh, I can't believe I did that. Can't believe I was so weak. Can't believe I had cravings. Or maybe you put on an outfit and you're like, oh, if I would have worked harder yesterday, this would have been better. Maybe you go on a walk, not because there's fresh air and it makes you feel good and it gives you energy and it sensitizes your cells to insulin. You go on a walk because you ate a donut and it's a punishment. So the first things that we have to do is first we have to become aware. Okay. Just let's become aware of all of the times that we are saying these things about ourselves. And then what I would recommend doing is I would start writing them down. I would start writing them down in a notebook, and you can scratch them out. You can tear this paper up. You can burn it, anything to help remind yourself like, no, this is done. And then what I want you to do is I want you to, in your phone, in the notes section of your phone, I want you to keep a running list of proof of the opposite. Okay. So you have to really be able to believe the opposite. So let's take a moment to think about it. Okay. So why are you choosing nourishing food? Now, notice how I didn't say good food, clean food, because food doesn't have a moral code. Nourishing food, food that nourishes your body. Okay. Why are we doing that? Why would you do that? Probably to give yourself energy. Probably, I'll tell you why I do it, and then you can go from there. So I am breastfeeding, so I have to fuel like an athlete. Literally, that's how I think about it. I am prepping my body to prevent Alzheimer's, because Alzheimer's is type 3 diabetes in the brain. That's why I choose nourishing food. I want to be able to run with my kids. I want to be able to play sports with my boys. I want to be able to be strong. I want to, in the future, be able to play with my grandkids. I want to be able to be walking when I am 95. That's why I do it. Now, that's why I make those choices, because I love myself. I love my body, and that's what I want to do. And that's how I have to fuel in order to get there. That's why I get my steps in. That's why I build muscle, because of all of those things. Now, your reasons may be different than mine. That's okay. But that's why I do it, not because, oh, I have to lose the baby weight, or, oh, I can't believe this outfit looks. Would you say that to your best friend? Literally, like, we have this inner mean girl that just lives there and just says the nastiest things that you would never say to your daughter. So first step is awareness. Write all the nasty things down, burn them, scratch them off, tear them up. We don't say those things anymore. And then I want you to keep a running list of proof on the other side. So anything works. Like, I was able to walk farther today and I had energy after I did it. I love the way my hair looks when I wear it this way. I love how my skin glows in the morning. I love how I feel after a workout. I love how I show up for my friends and family when I eat well. I love how stable my mood is when I balance my blood sugar. Keep that running list in your phone. This is like the proof of why we do these things, why we love our body. I just ran around with my kids. I grew 3 babies. I birthed 3 babies. I'm up at night breastfeeding, and I still take care of my kiddos. All of these things about why you are amazing and why your body is amazing. You need to be your biggest hype person. When we can do that and we start choosing the things that nourish our body because of that, That's sustainable. That you can keep going. That you see results with. Nobody wants to be around a mean person all the time. And that's essentially what you are doing to yourself. So start out with writing out the negative thoughts, burn them, scratch them out, tear them up, throw them in the wind, get rid of them, stamp it in the ground with anger. Fine with that too. And then keep a running list of the opposite to remind yourself in your phone. And then every time as you're catching yourself with awareness, just ask yourself, would I say that to my daughter? Now, I don't have a daughter, but I can imagine, like, would I say that to my niece? You know, you can use your imagination. And if the answer is no, don't say it to yourself. What would you say to yourself instead if you were talking to your niece or your daughter? When you feel like nothing is working for you over and over and over and over again, it's important to think, what is the thought that you're practicing over and over and over and over and over again? Because your brain is always going to come in and try and prove you correct. That is neuroplasticity at its best. Okay? So neuroplasticity is the ability of your brain to change over time. But if we keep practicing the same habit over and over, nothing works for me. This sucks. I don't like my body. Your brain's like, yep, you're right. And I'm going to prove it to you every single day. We like to be right, right? But instead, if we start doing the other side and finding proof for that, your brain's going to be like, yep, you're right. Let me show you. So I always tell it to my clients, don't become a self-fulfilling prophecy of the negative things, okay? Become a self-fulfilling prophecy of the positive things, okay? I'm not saying this is easy. This is a daily rewiring, a daily habit that you have to start making because you've probably been trash talking yourself for many, many years. All right, on to health. You can do this, okay? We do this with our clients all the time. And that's where we see success is going really, really deep with that brain rewiring. So start there. Of course, if you want to dive deeper, we can help you with this in the Hormone Reset program. If you want to dive into that, you can go to bit.ly/HRP free call and book your consult call with my team. And we'll hear your story and see how we can help you.